You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.
Hello viewers, this is a 2013 Mitsubishi Lancer SE. And yes, not a lot has changed on it, except for one thing, the drivetrain. The thing about the drivetrain is that, well, on this one it used to be a front-wheel drive and not so very good on the road. But with this one, they've actually gone inside it and said, well, we have the Evo. Why don't we just do a brand new thing with this one, make it a four-wheel drive? One that you can select what you want to do at what time you want to do it. And they did. There's actually a button in there that you can press to choose whether you wanted front-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. And if that's not enough for you, you can choose to lock the differentials so that you get 50-50 on how much power they're being distributed. You get 50% in the front and 50% in the back. On the four-wheel drive note, all you can really do is actually choose if you want all four wheels to work. So you do get power to go to the back, but 90% of the power is always in the front. As long as it doesn't lose traction here, you're gonna get the 90% of the horsepower in the front. But once the traction is lost, then you can get up to 50% in the back. Also, so you can see, yeah, headlights are still the same. But here, there's a thing about this thing. It hasn't changed because it doesn't really need to. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. I mean, in this one, for 20 grand, you're getting a basic Evo. Because right here with the four-wheel drive, that's actually a really good thing to get. And to be honest, aside from all of that, I can't explain any more about that because with the same car over here, we have an amazing piece of machinery. This is the hood of the car. And the thing about this is that it unveils the awesome heart this car actually has. As you can see, this is a 2.4 liter four-cylinder, and it has 16 valves, but it only produces about 165 horsepower. The Evo produces twice as much. But for 20 grand, you're getting the best bargain out there because you get economy and the handling from the Evo. This is actually one of the best things ever because the four-wheel drive system they're using in this one is actually lighter than the Evo. So that means the fuel efficiency even goes up instead of down. All of the things about this car that focus on the engine is, well, basically everything, because with that little button, you tell the computer what to do. And the computer, as you can see, is right here. It's actually quite a small square, but it works basically everything that you need to work in this car. And this engine, to be honest, is one of the best to get, because for 20 grand, you're not gonna do any better than in any other car. Honda Civic, it's got nothing to do with this car. I honestly do believe that this car is actually a very good car for a teenager, a 17-year-old just looking for a car, because it's not very expensive and you don't get a lot to break down in this car. It's actually very simple on the inside, but you still get space for 5 people. 5 of your friends, to be honestly. And to be honest, since all the computer gubbings are not that complicated, there's actually 3 buttons to work everything out, including the radio and the four-wheel drive system. Honestly, there isn't much to say. Aside from the seats are comfortable, the ride is just amazing, and there's enough power to move basically anything. But that's not my point, because in here, as any teenager would like, there's an entirely awesome new sound system. Let me just show you guys what I mean. The thing about this car is that, yes, it's a teenager's car. And back here, just to prove to you that it's a teenager's car, right there we have a 350 watt amplifier. That means that you can go out, have fun at night, and actually listen to Lil Wayne or whoever you like to listen quite loud without having any issues. And your parents are not gonna have that much of a deal because, to be honest, with this four-wheel drive system, your parents should be quite happy that you're gonna be driving this car very safely. So let's take this vehicle for a ride, because I'm sure everybody wants to know what it's like to be in a car this cheap that is this good. The thing about this car is that it's extremely simple. Like I said, it only has 3 buttons to operate everything. You do get air conditioning and, you know, radio and stuff like that, but everything else, the info, every little detail you have to press is just 2 more buttons. It's not that much more. The 4-wheel drive and the info button up here. That's pretty much it. If you want, you could use the cruise control or the volume controls that you can get on the steering wheel, but you really don't have to, because basically everything's at reach. That's actually quite cool. Another thing I noticed about this car is that the ride is immaculate. It's just one of the best I've been in. And the sitting position just makes it all worthwhile. So you can see, I'm sitting quite comfortably with my arms not completely stretched away from me, but you know, I get some tightness back to it, and the seat actually holds you in the seat like you want to be held. Not like one of those race cars that hug you inappropriately. Or one of those little Sonics that sort of let you go side to side once you take a corner. Other things about this car that make everything work as well as you might think is that everything's at reach, like I said. Even the e-brake. Let's say you lose power to the brakes one of these days. The e-brake's right down here. You can use it no matter what. So this car is one of the safest cars I've been in a while. And one of the easiest to drive. Because, as you might think about this car, this steering wheel is actually very comfortable to grab. But that's not it. It's the way it feels, the way you feel the front wheels turn. You know where they're pointing. That means that anybody can get in this car, drive it fast, and enjoy themselves. Without killing themselves, of course. I mean, other things you get that are standard actually is automatic windows. That's actually pretty nice detail to it. And automatic door mirrors. Honestly, there isn't much more to say about this car because it is one of the most simple cars that you can get into and enjoy yourself in. Probably the only luxury thing you get in this car is the heated seats, which are 2 buttons down here. But aside from that, it's simple, it's rugged, it's actually one of the best cars to drive, and it's about 10 grand less than the Evo. And you get most of the same features, you just get half the power. I think that's something I can actually put up with. Well, thanks very much for watching. This is Sebastian Benzoni.
You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.